I feel that all models of communication are correct. I feel that any model would fit at least one communication interaction that occurred at some point and would describe their model of communication at that time. Any model that's more general, of course, would cover more communication interactions than a more specific model that would cover a broader range of communication interactions. But either one would be correct. And I think this is true because communication changes from culture to culture and from generation to generation. And the definition of communication, the thought of conveying an idea or a meaning from one place to another, one being to another being, sharing a thought from a sender to a receiver, and then one having to decipher and decode what is being said, the definition would remain the same. However, the mode or the way we communicate will change. Any model must include three basic things: written, verbal, and nonverbal communication. But communication is so complex that because there are so many forms of communication that overlap each other, which is why there are so many models out there, because as you observe a communication interaction, you will see so many things going on so many different levels. And one communication interaction between two individuals can be very different than the exact same conversation had between two different individuals based on their level of competency of understanding what the sender is sending to the receiver and their ability to understand and decipher. Oftentimes you hear the saying, it is not what you say, but how you say it. So it's not just the words, the verbal communication, but the non-verbal communication that is making that interaction very complex or misunderstood from one receiver to another. If two people are familiar with each other, a nonverbal message is communicated much easier than two individuals that are less familiar with each other. And so then the communication interaction model would be very different between the two individuals. In newer generations, we're very frequently on new technologies, sending out text messages and emails, and a nonverbal communication is very hard to send through that. So it isn't always conveyed clearly as if I had a face-to-face communication. So the communication with my model is the communication definition remains the same, and I hold the same definition as the general definition in the book, just communication of information, or communication is information being sent from one individual to another to convey a thought, an idea, or meaning. However, the models will always be changing, and they will be remaining complex and different from one culture to another culture, and different between one set of individuals and to the other set of individuals. So I think my model, honestly, encompasses all models of communication, as every single communication interaction is going to be different. And so the definition between one interaction and the model at that one particular time is going to be different than another communication interaction, and the model will be very different for that specific